So now I want to see if the button that was clicked is the same button. So I can say if the first clicked equals click card. But I want to check their names. So I'm going to say dot name. Dot name. Since all the names are different because we set that up in the algorithm above, and I'm going to say if they are the same, I want you to exit because I don't want you to be able to do anything else outside of this. Okay. So this will exit and this also exits after that's done. If none of those things are true, then I'll say then you must be talking about clicking, you must be clicking the second button. So then I'm going to make whatever button that was clicked. Oops, hold on. I'm going to make whatever button that was clicked the second button. Okay. Now what I can do is check to see if the second button, I can check to see if the second button and the first one that was clicked is the same. So I can now say if this is here's my if statement. Hold on. Set my if statement. If the first clicked dot name, I want to check the name that's on the inside image's name is the same as the second clicked dot image name. If that's true, then you have yourself a matching card. So I'm going to go to my grid and the children, and I want to remove that question mark from there for good, which is the first clicked. Okay, and I want to do the same thing for the second click because that's the other question mark that needs to be removed. Okay, so now that I have those two removed, I want to go ahead and reset the first and the second to null or to nothing. Then I need to set the visibility as a reset. I just want to be able to reset everything. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to add something that does it for me in case I need it again. So I'm going to call this reset clicked. So I have it automatically generated, right? And then I'm going to go down here to what was automatically generated for me. And if you can't get that part down, then go ahead and just type it. It's fine. It does the same thing. And I'm going to say the first clicked will equal nothing because I want to reset it. And then I'm going to say the second clicked, it will equal nothing. That's all I want to do here. But I can save myself some space here just by typing it out here, and it's more readable. And so if that also is the case inside of this if statement, I want to go ahead and add to the points. So points plus equals 1. That means add 1 to whatever points has. I want to add 1 to it. And but I don't want to say 1, you see. I want to change it to this constant because I might want to change it, may want to change it later. And it's not really good to hard code things in there like that. So then I'm going to call out the score, the LBL score. And I don't think I have the LBL score here. Let me check and see inside of the UC game screen. Do we have an LBL score? We don't have an LBL score in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a label inside of my game screen. And I'm going to call it score. So I'm going to drag this out like this, like that, and I'm going to change the background. You guys already know how to do this part. I change that to something like that. And then I'm going to change, I'll leave it black, the text, the foreground. I'll just make it bold. And then I'm going to take this out. And then I'm going to call this LBL score. Okay, so now I can go LBL BL score dot content will equal and I think I will say, yeah, that's good enough. Don't have to add too much. Just add the points to that, whatever the points are. Alright, now after this I want to check to see if there's a winner. And again, I want to go ahead and create a procedure to do that for me. I don't want to put that all in one place. So I'm going to create a procedure called or function, either one. I'm going to call that check for winner. And I want to give it the points, the current points. And it's going to use those current points to check for a winner. So I generate that. Here's the automatically generated procedure there. Put the points up in there. Now all I got to do is do the algorithm for the points. And I'm going to create that as an if statement. And that if statement will say if these points, the points that's added here, if these points are greater than 2, because if you get 3 you win for now. I mean, there's a lot that we can change about this thing, but this is just to get everyone up and going. Then the next level screen. So I'm going to dim a next level screen. So if there's more than 2 points, I want to load the next level screen. Okay, so I'm going to create a variable called next level screen, and that will equals a new UC next level. And then I'm going to, on that next level screen, I want to go ahead and add, because if you remember, the next level screen has this label box right here, this label message, and it has this LBL score. So on that next level screen, I want to be able to add to the content, add to message content. So I'm going to say dot LBL message content. I think this, let's check our documentation. It's supposed to say, are you ready for level 2? Okay. And I also want to, I'm going to go ahead and add to that score label too. So instead of LBL message, I'm going to say LBL score dot content, and I just want to add the score that they got. And the score is simply the points that they have. At least for this level, and at least for the prototype. Next thing I want to be able to do is I need to access, remember in this user control, inside of the main window, when we create this user control, we gave it a reference to the main window. And in here we called it main, right? So that's why when we go down here, and I need to access the main window, all I need to do is say main, and then I can access the main canvas, and then from there I can get rid of anything or add anything I need. So I can access the main canvas.children, and then I can add the next level screen. At the same time, I can remove things, so I can say the main canvas children, and I want to go ahead and remove this, whatever this game screen is. I want to go ahead and remove it. So remove me means remove the game screen itself. Okay, so everything looks good so far. if this is the case, okay. So let's fix up everything, make sure you save all your stuff. And let's check and see if our application still works from here. Can start that. That's good. Alright, so now all we need to do is add the timer. So when it's not correct, it turns off. It turns back. It flips it back, because that's what we're supposed to be doing. When you don't get it right, it's supposed to flip it back. Right, according to here. Cards flip back. Okay. So we already created the variable here for our timer. All we got to do is create a timer event handler. And I'm going to go ahead and create that inside of the main subroutine. Up here. So I'm going to say timer equals new dispatcher. Timer. And timer dot interval equals time span. And the time span will be from milliseconds. And we can make that to be about 1,000. You can fool around with that. And then I need to add an event handler to the timer. And the timer doesn't have a click, it has a tick. So I have this generated down here, and this is where I'm going to put everything. But after this timer is done, I want to go ahead and take the first click and the second click, and I'm going to make them nothing. So I'm going to say first click. When everything first starts, right? The first click should equal nothing, actually, and the second click should equal second clicked should equal nothing, because no one selected anything when the game first starts. So in my timer, I'm gonna create a reset cards, a different reset cards than I had before, because I'm gonna have to stop this timer. So you see I have this resets cards here, but I need a different kind of reset card that also stops my timer, because the timer's gonna flip them, and then I just need the timer to stop after that. So right now I have this timer here, and I'm going to go ahead and say reset cards for all the cards. And I'm going to generate that right here. And so now my reset cards will stop the timer first. So all I need to do is say timer.stop. And then what I needed to do is bring back the visibility of the first clicked. Click.visibility equals the visibility. And I need to do the same thing for the second click. And now I need to make them nothing again. The first click and the second click nothing again. Other programming languages, this will be considered null. Alright, so that should work. Let's see what happens here. So I hit start, click that one, nothing happens yet. Click that one. Well, I got lucky. Click that one. Oh, I'm getting pretty lucky here. Alright. So hey, and it worked. So I got through, but I was trying to find it not to win. So you see here, it has my score, it has my message here, and it has these here which we haven't programmed yet. So let me run it again, and it should be random, so I shouldn't be able to select the same ones. Hit start. There we go. It's random. but our timer didn't start. So let's see what's going on with that. When it gets something that's not correct, it should go back. Okay, so I see down here, where we have our points. We never really start the timer. So if it's the same, then it'll do this. Then I should say else start the timer, which will then run the replacing of the cards. So let's try that again. I'm gonna run that. There we go. And I can go like that, and it should stay. Good. That should stay. And if I hit this one, we should win. And we won. Whew. Alright, so we're all done. So good job, everybody. That was fun. And we have a complete project from beginning to end. We have a project that we did our documentation. We understood the flow of the game. We talked about the pseudocode. We went in and we created all our user controls. From the user controls, then we went and created our class that we would need, an object that we would need, and we called that a card. Then we went in and step by step, and one piece at a time, we instantiated the different classes that we needed. And then we talked about the flow of the application and what event handlers we would need to access from the buttons inside of the user controls. Then we got to the meat of everything, and we went to the game screen. And in the game screen code, what we did was we added all the logic to the game. And we added it in a way to where it can be adjusted and changed later on to where it's not one big mess. So really you can look at the main game screen main class, and you can see the flow of the application right here inside of the subnew. You can see all our variables up here. And you can see everything laid out nice and neat down here. We have very few things that's hard-coded. This right here can be changed to a variable. This can be changed to a variable. This also can be changed to a variable if you wanted to. This also. You really don't want things hard-coded too much, but these things are fine for now. But if you want to change them, you can. And the other thing we learned how to do is access our resource directory. We learned two ways. I used a different way up in here called set matching cards, and then inside of the cards I use another way by just using a bitmap image and adding it to an image. So I hope this was helpful. I'll see you guys next time.